If the weather is so poor that FSD might be degraded, the windshield wipers should be going. Look at all that black brake we're adding. Yeah, if I was behind a person driving like me, I'd be upset too. FSD was not responding to speed limit changes appropriately. So why is it stopping here? It thinks it's 40, but it's pegged at 60. So the car is completely fine going 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, but it has a serious problem going 5 over. Right, good morning. I am doing the shortest route of my month today. I believe it's about 280 miles. The car wants me to turn right, but it's going to take me to the highway, and I don't want to do that. If I turn left, it'll take me on the back roads all the way there. In case you haven't noticed, I have changed the settings on my camera, which cropped in the picture so I can't get my feet in the image any longer. But hopefully the quality will be better. Yeah, that's my fault. Today's trip should be about 280 miles. Shouldn't be too long. Hopefully I get some decent footage. Really, I'm just testing out the new camera. So come along for the ride. Follow the leader. Personally, I would have turned into this lane instead of turning into that lane and then switching to this lane. That's just nitpicky, though. See, I left the house at 79% this morning. Says I'll get to my first facility at 59%. We have a remainder of 66 miles. I've driven 5 miles so far. It should really be in... Can't see my hand anymore. It should really be in this left turn lane. There's 2 turn lanes. It should be in the inner one, because this one gets put on the highway. Now, it can make it, especially since this is a cement truck. Odds are it's going to find a way to pull around it. But using the map data, because it's going to want to go straight instead of getting on the highway, it should have gotten into that lane. Okay, see, that's inappropriate. That's exactly what I was worried about. In that situation, it should have sped up and gone in front of the cement truck. But if it had picked the right lane in the first place, this would not have been an issue. That's a green light, bud. All right. Someone was coming up behind me. I was going to let it just be, but couldn't do it. I wouldn't mind if we moved over a little more for the construction workers. We didn't move at all, actually. We stayed pegged in the center of the lane. At the very least, we should have gotten over to the left side of the lane. I am going from Grand Rapids to Baldwin to Muskegon, back to Grand Rapids today. No sunglasses today. It's rainy, cloudy, so the car's going to nag me a lot more than it usually does. I'm still very suspicious of these four-way stops that have a blinking red light. So far on 12.5.4.1, it hasn't been an issue. But we'll see what happens. Yep. As soon as I said it, too. It was my turn. There were cars around. I stepped on the accelerator. I didn't want to be that person. I don't know if that was for the blinking red light or because there were other cars around. There is another example that's coming up. It's turning off of this road onto a very busy back road. It's still 55, but it's more like a highway. It always hesitates there. At least it always has. This is my first time trying it in 12.5.4.1. And if it does it there, especially if no one's coming, I know that that hasn't been fixed. I really wouldn't mind if the windshield wipers wiped the windshield, but I can see, so I'm assuming the car can see. So here's another stop with the blinking red lights. Let's see how it does. There's a car behind me, but it's back a little ways. So we're not going to have much time if it plays around, but I'll let it do its thing. Okay, that one was good. Went right through. This is not good. Why are we only doing 24, 25? What's going on here? Okay, now we're speeding up. Please get me up to perfect, 55. I won't complain if it goes 55. I'll complain if it does less than that. I don't know why it still thinks it's 45 here, though. 54 means I step on it, so here we go. So my theory with the windshield wipers is that they don't care if there's just little drops all over the window like it is now. But when you get a ton of these streaks, like that one and those over there, maybe a little bit of this one, that go over the camera, that's when you're going to get the wiping action. That's just a theory. So I need to wait for more water to beat up on the window, and then for those droplets to get bigger like they're doing now. Perfect. But they need to be in this area going above the camera. That one's hitting it. But honestly, with the streaking water, I can see out of the windshield better than having it all beat it up and staying in place. There's a bunch. It's like skipping this area. If all of this was happening here, probably would have wiped. I didn't design the thing, so I don't know for sure. There you go. That looks like a good amount. So this is the turn I was talking about. Turns onto a busier road with a blinking red light and a stop sign. It's only a two-way stop, so that's probably what would make the car nervous. And this road is usually busy. So yeah, there's a semi turning left. A bunch of cars coming from the left, and I can't see from the right yet. There's no one behind me yet. Yeah, there's a few cars coming from the right. Gotta wait for that semi to go. The car behind the semi is turning right. Yep, that's fine. We're clear on the left. We're clear on the right. We can go now, but we're not. There's another car coming now, so we'll have to wait. On the left. After that car comes and goes, we'll be able to take off. And it does, no stuttering. That's beautiful. It was a little bit longer than it needed to be, but it was cautious, so I'm okay with it. It does a solid 59. That's impressive. If only it would stay there. Down to 53. Up we go. Okay, I stopped pushing it around 62. It took itself up to 65. Full self-driving may be degraded, poor weather detected. But yet we're not wiping the windshield. Okay. Handled that beautifully. Just rolled right through it. It was at a good speed. Used its blinkers. It was wonderful. Will the car go around? We did when the semi let us around, but will we do it on our own this time? No, but this car also got over into the oncoming lane to get out of our way. Or weather detected again, but still no windshield wiper. If the weather is so poor that FSD might be degraded, the windshield wipers should be going. This car is turning left. Will the car go around it? It is. It's got a clear passing lane this time. 39 miles to the turn. I'm not going to stay behind this person. It should pick this right lane like that car in front of us did. Always goes to this left lane though. Will it fix itself? Because this is a left turn only. It will not fix itself. So I'm going to. And it wipes. Hooray. Probably going to act like, oh, I didn't see that was a left turn only lane. Let me wipe the windshield. Yeah. There's cars stopped up ahead. Look at all that black brake we're adding. Thankfully, the car is not trying to go around, which is great. It does see the stop sign way up there, which is great. Car goes and gets over. Doesn't necessarily slow down. It's good. Puts on the blinker to get back over. I do like that behavior. And it's getting dark. I'm sure this footage is going to be useless. This is what kills me. You see the lights, you see the blinker, and now you yell at me. You could have slowed down a lot sooner than that. Yeah, if I was behind a person driving like me, I'd be upset too. 66 to 58 to 66 to 58. Taking these corners at way too slow a speed. I'd pass me too. If I were you, I'd wanna pass me too. Brake lights, blinker, still going strong. I mean, it stops in time. It's just ridiculous. If you want to make humans comfortable, begin slowing down sooner. We're going to start slowing down here. 50 miles an hour. Car just doing its gradual slowdown that it always does. Still 50. Here comes a 40. It is slowing down. That's good. Slow down more, please. I'd like 44, maybe 43. Here comes the 30. All right. I'm getting us out of there. And then back in it. FSD was not responding to speed limit changes appropriately. See? I know it can. It's actually bang on the speed limit right now. I would do up to 33 here. It's going to clock that 55. No, that's a good thing. The box was not straight. I don't know if anybody noticed that. Whatever. That trip was 72 miles, took me 1 hour and 31 minutes, 224 watt hours per mile. That's pretty darn good. That's 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. It's pretty impressive. It's 49 degrees. I've had my temperature set at 68. I just bumped it up to 69, I don't know, like 10 miles ago. The car is saying increased climate control activity, air drag, tire drag, and battery conditioning due to cold weather cost 1.7% since you last charged. But then you look at this climate line, and it consumed 0.6% of the battery, which is 1.2% less than what it actually thought it would get consumed. So this line is just there because it's colder. I don't know if the car was actually doing anything at all. That's a strange thing to have there. Going uphill cost 2.8%. Going downhill saved 2.8%, so that was a wash. And as you can see on the elevation line, used 0%, 0%, so that's correct. Everything else was 1.4%, which is 0.1% more than what it was expecting, or less than what I was expecting. Driving used 2.3% more than what I was expecting. All right, car. It is what it is. Next place is an hour and 16 minutes from here. It's 65 miles. It is going to start going back the way we were just going, and then it's going to break off and go another direction. All right. I'll see you guys when I'm done with this facility. I am all set in there. Sitting at 56%. Next facility is 65 miles away, 117 minutes. No, 1 hour, 17 minutes. Next facility is 65 miles away. It's going to take me 1 hour and 17 minutes to get there. The battery gasometer says I'll be there at 35%. Sitting at 56% now. Let's see if the car can get me out of this parking lot. Words are hard today. So if it turns left, it's going to go the wrong direction. That is for sure. I guess it can get out that direction. It can go that way. Okay, that's fine. I did not tap the accelerator there. It sat and waited until that pedestrian walked away. And then it decided to go. I would say that was successful. Not the most efficient route out, but successful. So why is it stopping here? I can't let it do that. There's cars. So I had to push it through. We're technically in a 30 now. It still thinks it's 40. So we are going faster than we should be. It's another chance to see that it's 30. Will it take it? It did not. Coming through the first time it got it correct. Why would it not get it the opposite direction? Back to 40 now. Didn't expect to change there. Coming up on a 50 mile an hour zone. Not clocking that either, but it is speeding up. Second chance at a 50 mile an hour speed limit on the car. Does not take it. It bounced like it was going to change. How about this 55 coming up? We're going to do that one. We are not. So we're stuck at 40, huh? All right, let's see how this drive goes. This might actually be better because it thinks it's 40, but it's pegged at 60. If it stays there, I'll be a happy camper. It is staying there. It slowed down for that curve, and it went right back to 60. That's great. In this case, I'm okay with it being wrong on what the speed limit is, because it's right on what the speed limit is. This is crazy. This is the way I want FSD to always be. Just pick a speed limit and stick to it. And I don't know if I'm starting to suspect, as easy as this drive is, as not annoying as this drive is, I think they're doing it on purpose. Like it's making the person, the driver, pay attention, interact with the car. That's a crazy conspiracy theory. But here it is. Back up to 55, so I guess I'm going to be playing with the speed. Man, that was a good 20 miles. I really appreciated that. Oh, now it thinks it's 25. It's going to be even worse. It's 55, though. Still thinks it's 25. Got up to 39. Settled at 38. Still unacceptable. Still 25. Goodness. Twitchy turn. Still 25. God, it was so relaxing to start with. Now I have to pay massive attention to the speed of the car instead of paying attention to what it's doing. Back up to 55. Hallelujah. So the car is completely fine going 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, but it has a serious problem going 5 over. Anyway, that was a 66-mile drive. It took an hour and 15 minutes. 215 watt hours per mile that leg of the trip. 219 watt hours per mile since I left this morning. That's pretty good. I lost a watt hour per mile since I rotated my tires. So that means that this was a very efficient leg of the journey. I think that's great. Let's see. I'm going to stop at the UPS store. It is 8 minutes away, 1.8 miles. I'm sitting at 36%. Says I'll get there at 35%. Of course, whatever I lose while I'm in here is what happens. Let me quick take care of this facility, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Good deal. So it's warmed up to about 62 degrees. It's a good visit today. I'm at 36%, just like I was when I got here. UPS store is 8 minutes and 1.8 miles away. I'll get there at 1% loss. So let's see if the car can get me out of this parking lot. Goes on its own. Going left, which is good. There are 2 exits here, so it could have chosen either one. Chosen either one? What? Should turn right. Excellent. Man, turned into a beautiful day, considering how crappy it was when it first started. Complete stop. Perfect. Pulls forward, nothing to see here, and off it goes. I like that it doesn't complete stop and then pull up to C and stop and then go. It just does it all in one smooth motion. That's amazing. Oh, garbage truck turning down here. Garbage truck waits appropriately, and I appreciate that. Complete stop. Pulls forward. We can go. There was a car coming from the right, so it hesitated a little, but it still made it out just fine. This is an always stop. Red car will go first. GMC on the left will probably go too. Yep. And then it's us. Okay. It got scared again. Maybe it didn't know if the white car that was coming at us was going to turn or not. Better safe than sorry, I suppose. Doing 33 and a 25. I feel like that's too much. Slow down nicely for the pedestrian crossing the street. And now it's going a more appropriate speed. Is this where you want to go? I'm okay with parking here. It's a little bit of a walk, but I'm okay with that. You got me pretty close to the parking spot. Just had to slightly adjust. That's not too terrible. Got here at 35% as predicted. Home. It's not home, it's just a business that's close enough. It's 41 minutes, 36 miles away. Says I'll get there at 24%. So far, I've used 219 watt hours per mile. We're approaching 5 miles per kilowatt hour, which is amazing. I'll be back in just a second. All right, 24% when I get home. Can the car get me out of here? This is kind of a U-turny U-turn. Just standing here staring at me. This is the first time today I'll have to tap on it. Or nope, it goes. All right. I suppose that's another way. Why are we stopping? It's not designed for parking lots, I am aware. But it usually finds a way out. Go after this car. That's okay. That, though, might not be. I'm going 31 south, which I believe is the next light. So we're going to have to do some maneuvers, or I'm going to have to take over. It's one or the other. All right. The car just seems to get lucky. If I was driving, I wouldn't have been able to get in there. I guess it was two lights. Car always seems to find a way on that stuff. I remember when I first got the car, I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You need to be over here. This is crazy, blah, blah, blah. But it always finds a way. I believe, if I remember correctly, the last time I drove this route in full self-driving, the car missed the exit that's coming up in 3.2 miles. I had to go to the next exit, turn around, and do it all again. See if it gets it right this time. I'm a mile away from the exit. I have the opportunity to get over into the normal lane, the driving lane, and the car won't do it. There it is. Almost a half a mile out. That's when it usually goes. You know, if it was a little bit busier here, there would be cars over there. It wouldn't let me, and that's why the car missed the exit last month. It's because it waited too long, and then there were cars here, and it couldn't do anything about it. This is actually the wrong exit. It should have gotten off on the next one. So let's see how it fixes that. All right. So is there construction that I don't know about? There is. That's closed. Never mind. The car knows more than me. That's amazing. I didn't see any warnings whatsoever that 110A was closed. But I could be crazy. There's a car carrying semi up there. It's going really slow. Actually, I can see there's more cars that are going really slow. So let's look at the map. Yep, we've got lots of reds, right stars. It's probably because the last exit was closed. So a lot of people are using this as a detour. That makes total sense. Is the car going to let them in? It is going to let them in. This is not safe. And it changed its mind. Thank God. That is super dangerous. If she wasn't turning left, I'd be okay with it, but she was trying to turn left. And all of these cars are flying by, and it's impossible to see if they're coming or not because this road is curvy. It's just terrible. I see emergency lights up there. Is there an accident? Were we directed traffic? What's going on here? Emergency lights are off. That police just backed into where they are now. So I don't know what happened. But I'm super nosy. Oh boy. This is going to be fun. Oh, that's what he's doing. He's letting a bunch of people through, and he'll turn on his lights and stop traffic. For us. I like it. Thank you, sir. There's a semi on the right. There's a person in the road. I'll do it. I didn't trust the car to do it on its own. The car's been pegged at 57 since we got on this road. I'm kind of impressed, but no, I shouldn't have said anything. As soon as I start talking about how good it's doing on maintaining its speed, it always drops. Getting over to go around the truck. That's awesome. Let's look at our stats. That trip was 32 miles, took me 37 minutes, exactly 4 miles per kilowatt hour. We were on the highway, we were doing 85. That's completely understandable. See, we used 2.9% more battery than expected. The majority of it came from driving too fast. Surprise, surprise. We saved on everything else. The car thought that we would use more energy than it actually did. Same with elevation. We lost elevation, so we gained efficiency on that. We're going to go around this person. Would have appreciated some blinkers, maybe going further out. Who knows? Climate was 1.6%, but it wasn't anywhere near what the car thought I would use. So that's good. Going uphill cost me 4.8%. Going downhill saved me 5.8. So that's the elevation. So today we went 173 miles. We used 39 kilowatt hours, 225 watt hours per mile. So that's 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. That's pretty darn good. So thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns, put them down below. I'll check you guys next time. Deuces.